Hey, this is Nevin. Thank you for stopping by my channel. This channel is dedicated to home buyers that need education and some guidance on what to expect. There's a lot of industry terms, there's a lot of different things that you're probably not familiar with, and so it can be a really confusing process. So hopefully this video and some of the other videos in my library will help you go through this process. Feel free to leave a comment. It helps me with the algorithm with Google, so it goes out to more people who need this information. But I can also answer any questions that you have. You can also call, you can email me at the end of this video. You'll have my contact information. So again, thank you. With that, let's get started. This video is going to be about title insurance. So title insurance is an insurance policy that protects the lender, but then there's also title insurance that protects you, the home buyer. And to explain in a way that makes sense, that's easier, let's talk about the title insurance for a home buyer. Let's assume that you found your perfect house and you've made an offer to purchase it. Well, unbeknownst to you, the home sellers were in a dispute with, let's say, a roofer, for example. Let's say they had a roof put on and they didn't like the workmanship or they didn't like the color of the roof, whatever the case is. So they ended up going to court. The roofer won, and the judge says you need to pay the roofer. But the home owners at the time go, nope, I'm not going to pay you. So the roofer files what we call a mechanic's lien. They basically say, hey, I've got this judgment from the judge that says that they owe me $20,000 because I put a roof on and they refused to pay me. So that gets recorded against the property. Now you're trying to buy the property and you don't realize that there's a lien against it. Well, the settlement agent, which in some states is an escrow officer, in other states is an attorney, their job is to do what's called a title search. So they go online and they start looking at county records to see if there's any liens against the property. But let's say that they miss it. There's a $20,000 roofer lien against this property owner, and they just don't see it. It doesn't pop up. So now you buy the property, and guess who's now responsible to pay that lien? You are, because the lien is tied to the property, not to the person. I'll give you a true example. This actually happened with a customer of mine in San Diego. He purchased a house. He paid for owner's title insurance. He called me about a year later to refinance because rates had come down. So we're going through the process, and the escrow officer called me and she said, hey, do you realize there's a $60,000 lien against this house? And I was like, for what? Well, she said, solar panels. I'm like, so he put $60,000 worth of solar panels? She goes, no, it's a 10-year-old lien. There's $60,000 left. He bought the house and the lien never got paid. So I didn't know if he had owner's title insurance. So I called him and I said, let's go through your paperwork together. Sure enough, he went through there. He had owner's title insurance. He called the title insurance company and they had to pay the claim. Now imagine if he didn't have the owner's title insurance. He would have been on the hook for $60,000. Now this kind of stuff doesn't happen very often. It's actually pretty rare. But when it does happen, it's usually a big sum of money, because most people aren't going to go through the whole process of getting a judgment if it's a few $1,000s. So if you don't have owner's title insurance and there's a lien against the property, it's probably a big lien. So that's what title insurance is. And there's going to be a policy for the buyer, and there's going to be a policy for the lender. They're completely separate. Lender's title insurance is always mandatory. Owner's title insurance is always voluntary. If you have any questions, reach out to me, leave a comment in the section below, like and subscribe. Have a great day.